This video details the specific requirements and procedure for installing and configuring instruments which use Agilent's ICF, Instrument Control Framework, and the instrument manufacturer's RC.NET drivers. For more information about the ICF and RC.NET drivers, watch our previous explainer video about the platforms. I will provide a link in the description to that video in the description below. Even experienced users of Chromperfect should review this procedure as it differs from the process to install instruments using Chromperfect native drivers. This video is produced using Chromperfect version 8.2 and Windows 11. The process for other versions and operating systems may be different, and users should always refer to the Chromperfect manuals in PDF format that are installed with the software in the directory c:/cpdata/manuals. Installation. The regular install package for Chromperfect does not install the ICF framework. It must be installed separately. The MSI files for the ICF framework, and for the drivers, are located on the USB dongle or the download link provided by our team. Please note that depending on the configuration of your Chromperfect system, you might not have all of the instrument drivers that we are about to discuss. Chromperfect is compiled against ICF version 3.0 and is compatible with version 2.6. Installing the Agilent ICF files. Starting with version 3.0, a security tool must be installed before the Agilent ICF. Install this tool by double-clicking on the MSI file. Install the Agilent ICF by double-clicking on the MSI file, Agilent Instrument Control Framework.msi. By default, the files will be installed in this directory. You may choose a different directory if desired. Do not install the ICF files in the Chromperfect program directory. The installer creates a registry entry that contains the path to the installed ICF files. Chromperfect uses this registry entry to find the ICF files, so it will ignore any ICF files in other directories. For Agilent instruments there are two sets of drivers, one for GCs and the other for HPLCs. They are named appropriately. Install one or both sets, according to your laboratory's needs. Note that you will only be supplied with the drivers for instrument licenses that you have purchased. You can install any driver package by clicking on the appropriate MSI file. The files will be installed in the appropriate ICF directory. Users should check the Chromperfect manuals regarding any specific configurations for particular instruments or accessories. At the time of recording, Chromperfect supports RC.NET drivers for Agilent, Shimadzu, and Scion. Of course, native Chromperfect drivers are still available for other instruments, and these can be installed and configured alongside ICF models. We hope to extend support to other instruments over time. Initial configuration. Once the files have been installed, there are two final tasks. Each instrument must be configured, first for ICF, and then for Chromperfect. Configuring instruments for ICF. In order to connect to an instrument, it must first be configured for ICF. This process generates a configuration file for the instrument. Once that is done, no further configuration will be required unless the instrument changes its internal hardware, or its IP address. To configure an instrument, launch the ICF configurator program. The following form will appear. Initially, the list will be empty. The first two columns contain the instrument names and IP addresses, as configured in the Chromperfect instrument configuration dialog. The third column contains the ICF configuration files in the inst_ICF directory. In this example, there are two entries. The first entry is a fully configured ICF instrument. The second entry is an instrument that has been configured for ICF. The XML file exists, but not configured in Chromperfect. Configuring Agilent instruments. Press the New Instrument button. The following form will appear. Select an instrument from the left panel, and click the right arrow button to move it to the right panel. Then select it there and press the Configure button. The following form will appear. Enter the IP address. The other fields do not matter. Press the Get GC Configuration button, which looks like a label. The text will immediately change from Not configured to Attempting to connect to GC, configuration not available. Wait until it changes to Successful connection to GC, configuration available. Then press the OK button and return to the previous form. Press the Create Configuration XML file button. The following form will appear. The configuration file must be named according to the IP address. The extension is XML. However, the interface does not suggest this name, you must enter it. See the highlighted text above. When you have entered the name, press the Save button to create the file. By default, this form comes up looking at the proper location for configuration files, a subdirectory of the Chromperfect working directory, inst_ICF. This subdirectory will be created if it does not exist. You can use a different name, or change directories and save the file somewhere else, but it will not be found by Chromperfect. When you return to the main configurator form, the new ICF configuration file should appear in the list. This indicates that the file has been created and resides in the proper directory. There will be no instrument name, and the IP address column will be blank, because the instrument is not yet configured for Chromperfect. Configuring instruments for Chromperfect. Close the configurator if it is running. Go to the Chromperfect configuration utility and select Configuration. When the form appears, select ICF Instruments. Create a new instrument and the form should look like this. Enter the IP address of the instrument. Set the number of channels. Check the boxes for detector names and log files, as desired. Press the Apply Edits button to confirm your settings. When you have finished configuring instruments, press the OK button. The Connections dialog will appear, displaying the new instruments. Supply the instrument and detector names. Note, however, that these detector names will not be used if you check the upper box. Validating the configuration. Because ICF instruments are configured in two places, Chromperfect and the ICF, these separate configurations must agree. The IP address in the Chromperfect configuration must match the name of the ICF configuration file in the inst_ICF directory. To validate the configuration, close the ICF configurator if it is running, and then launch a new instance to see the new configuration. You should now see the instrument name and IP address in the first two columns. If all three columns are properly filled, then the configuration is sound. If the IP address in the Chromperfect configuration does not match the name of the ICF configuration file, then they will appear in different lines. If the ICF configuration file is missing from the inst_ICF directory, then the second line above will be absent. Editing setpoint files. Launch File Editor and open the MXC file. The editing form will appear promptly, but it typically takes several seconds to initialize. During this time, the file editor will be unresponsive. Finally, it will look like this. Special care is necessary for the signal settings. In order to collect data points, the Save checkboxes, circled on screen, must be checked. Make sure that at least one signal is checked. If the number of active signals is insufficient to meet the needs of the Chromperfect method file, then you may see plots with no points, and errors regarding missing raw files. Once you have made any changes to your MXC file, you can save it and add it to any Chromperfect data acquisition method just as with any instrument control setpoint file. Now every time you download this method, the settings within the setpoint file will be downloaded to the instrument and auto sampler. Editing sequence files. There are no special considerations when the instrument has only one Chromperfect channel. But if two or more channels are involved, the sequence file must conform to the channel assignments implied by the MXC file, although not specified in it. Thank you for watching. We are constantly adding new training content to our channel. Please take a moment to like this video so YouTube recommends it to other Chromperfect users, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload new videos.